Hello? Okay. I can hear you. But I don't think that, are you on here? Oh, I see you. I see you. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, you guys, if I'm live here, are you, why I don't hear you here? Mic settings. Okay. Let's see. Mute, unmute. Okay. Say something, Azul. Hello? Oh my God, are you on mute on your end? Can you hear me? Okay. I think you may be on, let me see. Oh, let's see. Hey. Yes, Queen, I added you to the stage. Woo, I told you that first time, boy. Hey, you guys. It's 7:00. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About It with Erica and Steph. Tonight is only Erica. Steph had another amazing engagement that she had to go to. And of course, she'll be here next week. And so tonight, we have a very, very, very special guest on. Before I introduce Miss Azul, I do want to make sure that we have our weekly toast. Tonight, I got a personal, y'all. I knew I was gonna be by myself in the room, okay? And when you by yourself in the room, you can't drink a whole bottle. Okay? If you do, then you're gonna be dancing and singing, and y'all don't want me singing on that karaoke machine. I promise you, not off a whole bottle. Anyway, Stella Rosa, blueberry, semi-sweet. I figure I'm not gonna go at sweet, sweet, sweet like I usually do for my girl Steph. I'm gonna do a semi, just a little bit. And so I'm a pour. What you got over there, Azul? You got anything?
I was getting ready to grab a bottle of water, but I didn't want to do this live, so
it's okay. Toast. I would like to toast to everyone that's tuned in or that's tuning in. Tonight is a very special show. It's my first time without my co-host. It's my first time using this software. So come on, y'all, work with your girl. Let's see.
A toast to that.
Right. Toast to that. Stella Rosa, everybody know what that tastes like, right? It's been around a while, and I'm gonna finish that tonight. So my guest, let's get into it, y'all. Let's talk just a little bit. We all need some sort of relief, right? The eggs high, the chicken high, everything is higher than. I think I was in Costco and something I was looking at was like $5 more than the last time I was in Costco. Like literally five. Matter of fact, it was the Bailey and cream, and it was the what you call it, the non-name brand one. Okay, and it was $5. Matter of fact, Big Daddy said it was $8, and it was $17 then. Okay, so the other day. So anyway, everything is going up. So we have to find a way to save some of our money, right? Not give it to the government or the owners that's trying to gouge the situation right now, right? Who trying to take from people whose income is not growing like the prices out here. And so I invited Miss Azul, the strategist, the tax strategist, here tonight so that she could talk to us about how to save a little bit of money. You know, we work hard for our money. We don't want to give it all to the government on taxes. And let me tell you, if you work for somebody, if you own your own business, either one of them, you're gonna need to save on your taxes. Okay, you need to figure out what to do in order to keep a little bit of money in your pocket. And so, without further ado, Mr. Azul, the tax strategist. Okay, she is all the way in New York, y'all. She is 10 o'clock her time. You hear me? So she coming out here to speak to y'all, to speak to us, okay? Because we all need a little help. About what to do. Azul, thank you, Queen, for coming. I really appreciate you here on the stage, on the big stage with Let's Talk About It with Erica and Steph. Um, Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, good evening, y'all. Wherever you're coming from, wherever you're watching this from, have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. I am coming out of the boogie down Bronx, the capital, the start of everything that we know today. I am your tax strategist for the people. I come from the people. I've been in taxes for a couple years now. I started off because I had a gentleman that was doing my taxes. Lovely, lovely gentleman. One year he was busy. I went to his son. I've always had a business of some sort, and the son wasn't really trying to help a sister out. So I'm like, you know what? We were sitting there, and our interaction was mostly quiet. He was just computing on the computer, and which is fine. He's a tax preparer. At the time, I didn't know the difference. Wasn't able to distinguish. You feel me? But I left and I'm like, well, if he can sit down there and compute on the computer and not really do too much, I know there's a whole world out there. I see it all the time. I go on Instagram. I know people are saving money. They're paying little to no taxes. These wealthy and rich people, something's got to give. So when I left that firm, I vowed that I wasn't going to have nobody else do my taxes. And sure enough, I went down the route. I've been studying to become licensed by the IRS as an enrolled agent. So that's a journey. I'll be up there with a CPA and a tax attorney. But I just love taxes because who doesn't want to save? Why would you want to give Uncle Sam extra bread? I say all the time, this is not the strip club. I'm not gonna tip you. Well, I don't need to tip you. You're not my waitress. You're not the local girl at the spot. I'm only giving
Okay.
you what you need and nothing else. Pay unto
Only
Caesar.
give you what
Unto
I gotta
Caesar.
give you. Right.
That's it. Pay to Caesar what belongs to him. Let me keep the rest in my pocket. So, yeah. So I love
All
helping people
right.
with taxes, especially business owners, entrepreneurs, investors. There are so many different ways. Certain people have skills and knowledge that certain other people don't have. And my job is to go and bring it back to my people and spread the love. I'm not going to gatekeep, spread the love.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. No gatekeeping around here,
No
y'all.
gatekeeping over here.
Yeah. So what are the biggest tax mistakes W-2 employees and 1099 workers make, you think, just from your experience?
Well, if let's see. If you are a 1099 person, you need to have all your ducks in a row. Paperwork, documentation, documentation, documentation. Without your documentation, it's going to be hard for you to write things off. You're going to be guessing. And then if you guess and you slide your return to the IRS in the event you get audited, it becomes a nightmare because you do not have the documentation to back up what it is that you're claiming, whether and sometimes it's really not done out of fraudulent purpose, circumstances. It's done because you're guessing and you don't have your bookkeeping in order. You don't have your receipts in order. So when you guess like that, audits are not bad. I tell people all the time, audits are a breeze once everything is organized and documented. The lack of documentation is a problem. Um,
Got it.
with W-2 employees, something what similar, especially if you have multiple jobs, anything over $600 must be claimed. So if you're like, okay, well, I had a little side job, do understand when you're getting your W-2, the employer is also issuing their W-2 on your behalf to the IRS. So if you don't think Uncle Sam doesn't have that little $600 that you think that you didn't need to report, he's watching you. Uncle Sam.
That's preaching right there, sis. Right there, I love it. Okay, because Can I leave this W-2 out? No.
Don't leave it out. If it's over
You
$600,
gotta
please
get all
leave
of
it
them
out.
you got, baby. Put them together.
Uncle Sam gonna come knock for his coins, and when he come knocking for the coins, he's not gonna just ask what you owe. He's gonna add interest, and that's the tip that I'm talking about. Y'all giving Uncle Sam. You don't have to do that. No matter how minor you think it is, always make sure that you report everything that is done. And if you think, same thing with cash. I mean, cash is king and cash is silent, but it's better to document it and just deal with it. But you look like Wesley Snipes, and nobody wants to do that.
Absolutely not. We don't want to be like Wesley Snipes.
Definitely
Now,
not.
what are the key deductions self-employed individuals and 1099 workers should take advantage of? Just
Ooh,
a couple of them, you know?
okay. So, some of the top deductions, if you have an office, if you have a room, you can take a home office deduction. You can do standardized or you can do itemize. When it comes to, do understand standardized deductions, regardless of what they are, they're usually a set amount and they're on the lower end. It's standardized because it's easy for you to say, okay, well, the standard deduction for a home office, let's say it's $1,500, versus the opposite of itemizing that would be the space that you're using as your office. You would have to go take the square footage of the space, divide it out about the entire space. So let's say, for example, you have a 2-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom house. Um, the second bedroom that you would have to literally get the square footage of the second bedroom and you would divide it out of the entire square footage of the entire apartment or the house. So let's say out of the 2-bedroom, the second apartment takes up 25%, right? So now it's a little bit more steps, but it's worth the extra steps because versus a standard $1,500, when you take the 25%, it's 25% of your rent or mortgage, 25% of all utility bills. That's how much you're able to take with an home office deduction, especially when you're itemizing something. Like I said, it's usually extra steps to itemize, a little bit more pain in the ass, but it's always worth to take it. Um, Another thing
That's a
too,
gem.
that is definitely a gem. Cell phones. Now, if you have a personal cell phone and you're not yet ready to have a business phone, some people have 2 phones, but if you have your business entity, your LLC, your S corp, just put your phone in your business name because you can write it off 100%. Versus if you have it in your personal name, same thing will go with cars, you're only able to write off a percentage, right? You cannot claim 100% of your cell phone that's in your personal name or a car that's in your personal name because why? The IRS is going to say, okay, Erica, you only got one phone and you're telling me you use 100% of your phone. You don't talk to your mom, your sister, your auntie, your man, the milkman from down the street,
Right.
100%. So it's 100% business. So that is something. Now you can claim 50%, you can claim 75%. And if you do have 2 cell phones, and some people have 2 personal cell phones, you can, in the event of an audit, show documentation. Hey, I use this line for personal, I use this line for business. Another thing, the accounts, the accounts, the accounts. When it comes to paying out of your accounts, right? Let's say some of you guys starting off, you're a sole proprietor, you're not yet a business entity. Cool, no problem. Um, you build yourself as you go. Do not pay for stuff out of your personal account that you use on a regular basis. Your main account, don't do it. If you are a 1099, if you are self-employed, if you are a business owner and you do not yet have a business entity where you can get a business bank account, go ahead and go open up a second personal account and run all your business expenses out of that account. Because in the event you get audited, I'm telling y'all from now, once Uncle Sam comes, once the IRS comes to audit you and you don't have all your ducks in a row, it's World War III. Okay?
All right.
It's World
Wow.
War III because they will, and even if you have your business entity, If you're coming everything out of your personal account that you use to pay your personal bills, you eat, you do all these things, they can tear apart your business entity and they can disregard. So if you have your LLC and your corporation, you're not treating it as a legitimate business like Walmart or Target or Apple or Amazon, they can dissolve your entity and disregard it and pack on penalties and fees, and it's a whole headache. It's just a whole mess. So please have separate accounts if you're a sole proprietor or you're not yet have an official business
So,
account. Mm-hmm.
so let me stop you here real fast. So a sole proprietor, some people don't know what that is. Let's break
Okay.
that down just a little bit.
Okay, so usually the first step a lot of times when people have an idea of when they want to start a business, right? They get the things that they feel they need to in order to get this side hustle started. So you don't have a business entity, you're not an LLC, you're not an S corp, a C corp, any of those things. You're not a nonprofit. You just get what you let's say you want to cook, right? You're cooking, you want to make some dishes on the side. You're going to get the ingredients to make the food and you're going to start selling the food, right? You're not thinking about, let me create a business entity, a structure, a legal structure in order for me to separate myself from the business. Um, you know, some people, when you realize that you're going somewhere, then it's always best to get an LLC because you want to separate yourself from the business. In the event somebody was like, Erica, I don't like your piece of chicken. Mind you, we make the best chicken in the world. If I want to decide to get up tomorrow and sue you, there is no separation between you and your business. So a lot of people start off as sole proprietors, where it's just that's it. They're just working
It's just
off
them.
their name, their God-given Christian name, and there's no separation from that person from their actual business itself. So that's a sole proprietor.
All right. Well, wow. That right there is it. Okay. Make sure if you got the best chicken that you and you know it's the best chicken,
Oh,
you
I'm talking
don't
about finger
you
licking
gotta
good.
get a name to be under a business name, right? Under a business, under LLC, under a corporation type of deal, right? But sometimes we start off without doing all of that, and so just to reiterate what Miss Azul, the tax strategy just said. She said get two personal accounts. Okay, if you don't have that business license, you don't have your LLC, get two accounts. Separate your business expenses. Okay, and over here, and also put your business funds in that account too, right?
Yes.
So that you can count them for something. Okay, and so man, okay, all right. I'm excited. I'm learning some things today. You see, I got my book here, Fabulous, Focus, and Fears.
Years. Okay.
And you feel me? And so I gotta make sure I take my notes, y'all. I hope y'all got y'all notes, okay? Because it's some great things going on this evening. And so can let me ask you another good old question. Can rental properties or real estate investments help lower tax liability?
Ooh, of course. Okay, real estate has made some of the most millionaires, especially in America. Um, Real estate, you can count your losses on real estate on paper, right? So let's say, for example, let's say you're making $200,000 a year, right? You have 9 to 5, or let's say you have a business. However, your income is coming in at $200,000 a year, right? That's what's being reported. And let's say you have a couple of Airbnbs, or let's say it's not, you have rental property, period. And let's say the loss that we can deduct on paper, depending on how many properties you have, the different strategies that we pull, though you can deduct your $200,000 and lower your adjustable gross income from like 200, let's say, to like 75,000, right? It all depends on the strategies and things that entail. But real estate, it's so good because you can even knock out your entire income with real estate. You depending on how many properties you have, and like I said, it varies.
Right.
But there are some instances where you can get back a refund because now you've zeroed out your entire income just from
Your
real
tax
estate.
liability, right? No tax liability if you don't have no income.
Just, you have
Okay.
one of my favorite is cost segregation, right? That's done through bonus depreciation. So say,
Uh-huh.
for example, you have your rental property and a house is being written off over 27 and a half years. You can write off 30% up front if you go and itemize everything that's in the house, right? So you can say, you know what, IRS, is what we're going to do. The doorknobs that we just put in, you go to the IRS and you would look at each item and look at the shelf life that IRS will allow you to deduct. So you can deduct your doorknobs, you can deduct the doors in the house, you can deduct the roof that you just put in for the property, your windows, your appliances, your flooring,
Depreciation.
everything. And you can take up to 30% up front of the value, in addition to the losses that you regularly would have, and you can write over several years. So it's so many different loopholes with that. We can be here all night, Erica.
Oh man, well shoot. I'm excited. I'm learning. This sounds like some great things going on. Okay, yeah, but we ain't trying to be here all night.
No,
Amen. We talking about it, but we ain't gonna talk
but if
about it
the
all
people
night.
need it, I'm here. I'm the people's tax strategist.
Look, right. We had you here all the midnight because it's close to midnight over there. Okay. So, are there any new tax credits or deductions people should know about this year? Right? Because we got Mr. Trump in office. We know he like deductions for the people that maybe making a lot of money. But what's something maybe that can help us people out? He up here, down there, in the middle, something.
Well, under this current administration, we're still not sure yet. We probably would have a little bit more of an idea around April because Trump is trying to reconstruct the tax system as we know it. Um, things have to go through Congress, whether it gets voted in, voted out, and the three, judicial systems that are set in place. But one thing people can do if you need to buy a car, solar $7,500. That is a credit that you can use. Another thing too, no, solar, and then you also have electric for the cars. If you need a car, that's $7,500 for electric. If you get an electric car, the government is trying to entice the American people to switch over to electric because it's more beneficial for the environment, less gasoline, and less natural things being put to use, right? So it's supposed to ease up and help with climate control of that stuff. So as a result, they do give you some they do entice you with one of those benefits. If you are a homeowner or if you do have property that you're renting out, whether it's Airbnb, short-term or long-term properties, solar is also another thing as well. Again, energy conservation, that's like the goal in mind, that we can do more things, that we can reuse energy. So those are two things.
So
Again,
two
in
credits.
terms of, yeah, those are two credits that can be used.
All right.
So, in terms of like, there's nothing finalized, especially with Elon Musk going through the different departments. We have to wait and see if things are going to stay the same as they were, or if it's going to be a new change. Usually 75, 85, 95% things stay the same. Some things may change, little things may go up, a couple things here and there, but nothing major. But we're staying tuned to see what's going on.
Got it. So, um, this year we still kind of in tax season for 2024 right now,
Mhm.
right? We still kind of in tax season. A lot of people, they're afraid to file their taxes right now, even though April 15th or 17th, I don't know if it falls on the weekend, is the tax season is supposed to be over, but a lot of people go well into October and still have to file their taxes, right? what is something that you can help them feel more comfortable with, going to do their taxes right now? Like, I mean, is it something this year that you've seen that people are saving on, on their tax return for the 2024 years, this year and 25, but I'm talking about 2024 year, right? We already in this thing. We already filed the taxes. Like, are you seeing, like, I know they talk about your kids being your employee, right? And being able to reduce your income off of that, right? Got any knowledge about that? Maybe.
Yeah, so you can always hire kids, right? You can hire your kids as 1099 workers. There's so many different plays with that. That's like something that you can do, and no matter what tax season you're in or who's in office, that's just like a business play that's always been around, right? You can hire your children. When you do hire your children, it all depends on their job description. What you pay them has to be similar to what you would pay someone else that is not your family member or your child. So it has to make sense, right? It has to make sense to the job description, and then from there, like I said, you can hire your kid, pay them up to 15,000. If the job description makes sense, you got to pay for their stuff anyway. You have multiple options. You can take that, you can put it in an account, let it accrue interest until they get to a certain age, or you can put it in a high yield and savings account and say, hey, listen, you just made 15,000, you need a new cleats for soccer. Go ahead, buddy, go take that out your account. You worked for it. So now, not
Yeah.
only is your child learning responsibilities, not only you putting that money back into your child, whether it's now or later, if you're going to use it as a later on investment, and then it's also tax deductible because they are an employee to a certain degree, whether they're a W-2 employee or they're contracted out. So there's different ways, but that's always an evergreen thing that you can do ever since children were allowed to work legally. That's an evergreen thing. So that's not really going to go away regardless of who's in office and things of that nature. Right now, like I said, we're still waiting to see what's going on, but there's plenty of things that you can do. And when you hire your kids, you have to document anything that you do, especially when it comes to your business. When you document, you're good money. You're good, because in the event anything ever happens, you just here you go. You pass that paperwork along.
Right. Absolutely. No worries. Like
No
Lil
worries.
Wayne, I ain't got no worries. So you don't want to worry about the IRS, boy. I done
No,
seen the
you don't.
IRS shut somebody bank account down, put a lien on their
They will
house,
start
garnish,
deducting your stuff. Your
garnish
paychecks start
their
disappearing.
way.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Don't play with Uncle Sam. He ain't no joke, okay? All
No,
right. Matter of fact, they should be calling him Daddy Sam, okay? Because he be acting like somebody's daddy, okay?
that's
Forget the
exactly what
uncle.
he does.
Anyway, girl. So, how can someone find a good tax strategist, and what questions should they ask before they hire one? I mean, you're in New York. You the tax strategist. You can strategize anywhere, right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Um. So, a tax strategy is something that it's something that some tax experts are becoming privy to because people are getting frustrated. Life is getting expensive. You just said you was paying extra $5 for a non-label Bailey's. People just want to be able to save much money. In order for you to need a tax strategist, they're separate from a tax preparer, right? It's like apple and oranges. Apple and oranges are fruits, but fruit doesn't necessarily have to be an apple or an orange, right? So one thing can be the other and not vice versa. If you need a tax strategist, that's because you're making over $200,000 if you're a W-2 employee, or if you owe more than $25,000 in the tax liability as the business owner or an investor. So if you're a regular 9 to 5 employee, you have a business on the side, you're going to hit with $25,000 tax bill. It makes sense to have a tax strategist. So a tax strategist can be a tax preparer, and if they do upgrade to becoming a tax strategist, they're not going to call themselves a tax preparer anymore, because tax preparers know basic deductions and credits, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people think CPAs are automatically tax strategists. They are not. They are certified accountants. And they are very good at what they do. We don't discredit them at all, because it took a lot of work to become certified as a public accountant. They know your accounts in and out better than anybody, right? A lot of them are not, they're very conservative when it comes to figuring out plays that would help an individual save taxes and be proactive. And then you also do have tax attorneys, some tax attorneys, and then you also do have licensed enrolled agents, IRS enrolled agents. Um, if you're looking for someone, you say, hey, how do you go about coming up with a strategy to save me money, right? What you're looking for is for them to say something along the lines of, well, hey, Erica, I look at your unique situation and I go into the tax code and I figure out what can we do to lower your tax liability. The basic home office deduction, hiring your kids, retirement accounts, those are basic stuff. That's like that's the government giving out candy. You want to know deep stuff. Do they know about cost segregation if you are a landlord, if you have rental property? Do they know about 1031 exchanges when you want to buy another property, but you kind of want to you exchange one property to go buy another property? Do they know the deadlines for that? um if you have a life event, whether it's a death in the family, a new life in the family, anything, do they know how to pivot and say, okay, this is what Erica wants to do in the next 3 to 6 months or a year, and these are the things that we're going to do based on her goals, dreams, and aspirations, to make sure we minimize her liability as much as possible. If they seem like they're kind of conservative and they're not really want to go deep diving into the tax code to find different ways to help you keep more of the money that you worked hard for, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I feel it, man. That sounds amazing. It sounds like people need some help out here. Okay, and you lady to help them. Okay, you done told them how and who to talk to, right? And the difference between a tax preparer and a strategist, right? Like, um, so now we just have to make a decision, right? How much money is we making? Is it over 200,000, right? And that's having a
425.
job. 25,000 in liability, tax liability, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can have a job and a business, right? I work and I have a business on the side. If I go to H&R Block and I owe $25,000, right? Oh my goodness, I need to talk to somebody. Let me talk to a tax strategist, right? Okay. And if you are a business owner, which a business owner 1099 or maybe cash, right? Because that's a business owner when you just get cash.
Yeah.
When you make over 200,000 plus, you definitely want to talk to a tax strategist maybe in advance, right? Before you even get started. So you know with receipts to hold, with things, maybe even hire a bookkeeper at that point, get some type of software. Do you know of any good software that a person can use to keep track in their business?
You have Zero, but I love QuickBooks. QuickBooks is super affordable. It's very organized. They have great customer service. Um, they'll walk you along the way. So QuickBooks, I think it's like some plans are like $15, $16 a month, where you can hook up to your bank account and it'll help keep track of your expenses that go in and out of your account. So if you're not able to hire a bookkeeper, you're not ready, or you haven't found a bookkeeper that you like, QuickBooks is definitely my recommended software, and Zero is also another one as well.
Zero,
Yeah,
Zero.
No, XERO.
Oh, XERO. Okay. I haven't heard of that one. I am familiar with QuickBooks. I did use them a little bit until I realized that realtors out here, the Realtor Association actually gives you a free software program with your membership that it does the mileage. Like as you're driving, it calculates. All you do is go back and say what it was for. You put your credit cards or your business bank account into the software with an app, and then it automatically things come in that the expenses come in, your income come in from your checking account, and all you got to do is check off which business it go to. Like, oh, I love this software. Like at the end of the year, and then it has a report that you give over to your tax person. Okay, and it's a piece of cake as long as you check off those things, during the year or the day or the month, but it's some great software out there. Don't be afraid to do your research so that you could be prepared at the end of the year for your taxes, and you don't have to do it late and pay penalties and things of that nature. I know last year I didn't even realize with my S corp that my tax was due in March instead of April, and because of that, I owed penalties, and so you got to keep an eye on the date that your taxes is due as well. And so, man, this is a deep talk to me. I enjoy these type of talks. You hear me, Azul? I am just so happy that you came out this evening, to share all of this information with our people. A lot of times we don't even know these things, right? And so if you don't gain knowledge from the people that's around you or in your circle, where you gonna get it from, right? And
Yeah.
so that's why Steph and I, we over here at Let's Talk About It with Erica and Steph, because we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. And so, man, I'm just so appreciative. How can somebody get a hold of you? Like if they need a tax strategist, how they get a hold of you? Is it? I know your Instagram girl is popping. You have like some great information on that Instagram. You hear me? Like, so what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Azul AZUL _ the creator THECREATOR. You can go to my Instagram. You can get more information about just different things that people may be going through with their business, things they don't know, how to sign business contracts. Definitely more content coming out. If you need to schedule a call with me, you can go to my website, azul dash, not underscore, dash taxes.com. You can read up more about the different services that we offer at the firm, and you can create schedule a discovery call with myself, and we will get to the bottom of any issues that you have. So,
All
yeah.
right. Well, that's exciting. I am just again very thankful that you've taken your time out to hang out with me this evening and educate our people. Um, Thank you to my audience. You guys didn't talk much tonight. I see. Let me see if there's any questions. Again, I'm on this new platform, y'all. So let me see what I got going on. Oh, I don't see none. You see any? You see anybody talking, girl? Because I don't either. And
Let
so it's
me
good.
look.
I know you guys are gonna come with questions later, right? Most likely you're gonna be in her inbox asking her all the questions. I'm sure. Um, and so before we go, I do want to make sure you guys know that this particular show is sponsored by Fields Real Estate and Investments, as well as Exquisite Chew Boutique. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, make sure you reach out to your girl Erica. And if you're looking to look good while buying a home, make sure you talk to Steph. All right, we're gonna conclude this episode. It was amazing to hang out with you, Miss Azul,
Thank you for
Queen.
having me.
Okay, Queen in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Is that where you say you in Brooklyn?
Boogie Down Bronx.
Boogie down Bronx, baby. You hear me? What's the weather like out there? Just curious.
Today wasn't too bad. We were like almost 50 degrees. So that's when summertime New York comes a little bit alive around 50 degrees. So
Okay, that's good because I know I went out there for the ball drop, girl, and I haven't even desired to go back. It was
no, that's
so
one of the worst
cold.
times to come. Winter is not the place you want to be in New York. You want to go spend it somewhere else where it's beautiful, where the sun is shining and the people are happy to be outside.
Right. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Well, again, thanks a lot, and you have an amazing evening, Queen. You hear me?
Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you.
All right. Peace. Now, how do I get out of here? Oh, no. Here we go.